Hey Brandon, how's it going?
Chillin'. I got this little fox. This is you? Did you get this because of the podcast?
No, I got that at the Fox Village.
Okay.
It was really fun, actually.
Oh, when I was walking here tonight, some guy was coming down the stairs with his, little dog. I was like, okay. But he was, holding it, and he's like, the dog was barking. He's like, shh, shh, shh. So he came down the stairs, and he ran a little bit, and then after he got away from the apartment building, he put the dog down, grabbed the leash, and they took off. And I was like, wait a minute. Did he just steal that dog? And it was one of those weird, wait, that was too awkward.
Huh.
At first I was like, oh, he's just rushing to the bathroom. That doesn't make sense because we're outside.
Yeah.
It's a dog. I was like, so he was like.
And then they sprinted off?
Yeah, he's coming down and it's like, shh, shh, shh. And they like, boom! And I look around the corner. I was like, he gone. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I don't know what happened. I was waiting for to hear some girl's voice like, motherfucker, where my dog at?
Oh,
Bitch, I told her I'm taking the dog!
I would be so pissed if I was in a relationship and a girl was like, and I'm keeping the dog. I'd be like, no, you aren't.
Bitch, I already know you're talking about. And I saw it 2 months later. Yeah, I had to give the dog away.
It was too much.
But you don't got it. Fuck you. Alright, go ahead.
I saw a guy walking a cat once. It was on a leash, but he wasn't holding the leash.
Oh, that cat.
So it was an old man too. I was like, how's this cat staying with him?
That cat, he wasn't walking the cat. The cat was walking him.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you couldn't tell from our last podcast, I was a bit sick recently. I didn't think I had the coronavirus because I got better, but I was still feeling bad. I don't think corona is just you feel sick for 2 days, but then you kind of get better. I don't know. I actually looked up the symptoms. It's just the flu. It was cough, sneeze, fever. So it's
did you wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night? Then you might have the Rona. What the fuck? I gotta do that!
It actually happened to me at 6 p.m.
Okay.
It was a Sunday. I went to one of my coffee shops. I was working on some stuff.
Did they kick you out? Hey.
No, not this time.
I was about to say, I was walking home and I saw some guy on the laptop in the door. I was like, uh-oh. Chris gonna be pissed.
There was a funny story, but we'll skip it. We'll do it later.
Alright, keep going.
Okay. So, coronavirus. What are your thoughts on the coronavirus? Are you for or against it?
I don't know.
Those are pretty good, aren't they? So sweet.
Damn!
I found some oranges. Not Mekon, oranges. Can you imagine a doctor clicking this video? They have the secrets to the Japanese coronavirus.
Oh!
I saw a guy walking a dog.
Damn, that is sweet.
I know.
That might have been too sweet for Among Us.
I know.
Oh, shit.
They were not having it.
Whew. Alright.
Okay, so I felt sick Sunday night. Monday, I have off Mondays. So I just laid in my bed all day.
Laid in the bed, alright.
Tuesday, woke up feeling like shit, but this is Japan, so you can't get off work. I don't know why they don't let you off work. You would think you would get other people sick. Just stay home. But they're like, no, you come here and you expose our staff and customers, you lazy son of a bitch.
Did you tell them that you weren't feeling good?
No, because the previous manager, she doesn't care about other people. So I'm like, why even bother telling her I'm sick? She's not gonna. There's nothing. She's not gonna do anything. So I didn't bother telling her. And when I got to work, it was just the 3 women going, and I'm like, I don't feel like existing right now.
Dude, you work with 3 women, so you're like the pimp. You can fuck them all.
No, none of them are fucking. None of them are fucking. Anywho. Boop, boop, boop.
So then you get home so how'd you feel after? You feel good that whole day, or?
Yeah, that was rough. That was really bad. And I wrote down, it's worse for us to get sick in Japan than like a Japanese person. I wrote down because we're worthless, yet we're irreplaceable.
Welcome to English teaching.
So it's like, these fucking foreigners aren't pulling their weight. And it's like, I'm sick, I can't come in. Can you just come in for like 4 hours? 5 hours?
We need you. You destroyed our whole system. What?
Which is like, it'd be weird to work a full shift and then just be like, well, I'm still sick. Can I go home? Yeah, sure. Like, that's not going to really help you get better. But, you know, the Japanese teachers, they don't teach as many classes. And it's way easier to find a sub for them because there's so many Japanese.
There you go.
There's none of us. There's none.
Yeah. I think there's a lot. There's not a lot.
Yeah, some days you're like, I saw 2 foreigners. That's a lot of people. And you're like, I see like thousands of
people. And then you're like, oh shit, it's 5,000 to 1? What is the ratio?
Ooh, in Osaka? I don't know. Do you think Japanese people see 2 foreigners like far apart and they're like, they must know each other?
Are they brothers? Are they homies?
Oh, I wrote this down. It was stupid for me to like not take off work because I had some demo students that day.
Yeah.
And it's like, the schools will risk getting 2 kids sick just to get a whiff of that entrance fee money. Which they actually signed up, so I guess it's good that I worked when I was sick, so we got that money.
That entrance fee. How much does it cost to...
I don't think...
Because I know there's like the monthly cost, but then like the first sign up, it's like a big lump sum you gotta drop.
Ooh.
Do you know how much? I want to find out.
I think it's maybe 60 or 80,000.
So,
or 8,000, not 80.
So what are you saying, like $600?
I think it's $60, $80.
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, that's the lump sum they gotta pay? I'm talking about the original lump sum.
Oh, I don't think we do that.
Oh, y'all do that. It's an Kaiba, baby. We getting that money.
I think that's how yours operates, though, right? Don't they get a big chunk up front, and then you can't really back out?
We all getting that money.
Well, they're getting the money. We're not.
We ain't getting shit.
But yeah, I worked 3 days out of 6. So if you want to come to Japan and work, you get a lot of 6-day work weeks. That's kind of fun.
Okay, obviously you only work 3 days. Right.
Yeah. But that last day, I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I told the manager, the new one, the one that's not evil, I was like, I waited for the other 2 women to leave, and I was like, I'll just talk to her in private. I'm too sick to come in. How the fuck have you not noticed? I haven't been feeling well for 3 days. No one said anything. I was fucking blowing my nose and sneezing all day.
not even a single comment.
Yeah, no, nobody
not
noticed.
Not even an allergy comment, like, oh, you got allergies?
Yeah, nobody even noticed. I was just like, okay. So, which then once I told the new manager, the old one's still there, and she was like, I didn't even know anything. He never said anything to me. I didn't know. It's like, you weren't gonna do anything anyways. I know better. I wrote down, in America when I was sick, I just stayed home till I got better. In Japan, you just put on a mask and when you were sick, you just kept going to work, right?
Yeah. I had food poisoning.
From when you made hamburgers?
It could have been some chicken too. I was trying to do a lot of cooking that time.
Which we keep talking about opening a restaurant. We should not be opening a restaurant.
We'll run the restaurant, but we ain't cooking.
But
yeah, I was really bad that one day. Then
was that in Nova?
Yeah, I just had to suck it up and go because I don't get paid if you don't go into work. So
you don't get any sick leave or vacation?
If you're there for maybe over a year or something.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Huh. How about at your schools? Did you ever get sick when you were teaching the elementary school or the high school?
No. I just never got sick.
Really?
Yeah.
I usually get super sick like once a year.
Yeah, me too.
But I think at this point I'm 30 and I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit anymore. When I was younger, I'd be like, oh, I'll just tough it out. But now it's like, no.
No.
Same with when the train There's been a lot of suicides lately.
Mm-hmm.
When the train stopped on Saturday, when I was younger, I'd be like, I gotta find an alternate route to get to work. I don't want to be late. But now I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here. And...
I'm like, yeah, the train stopped. They're like, well, can you find? I'm like, nah, I'll be right here.
Luckily, the manager, cause she comes like 2 hours from Kyoto, so hers got stuck too. If it was just me, she'd be like, how dare you?
I remember when this was maybe recently, a month or 2 months ago. One of the trains stopped. It was like in the morning because you messaged me too.
Was it the same one?
Yeah,
oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, the train stopped. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk to Osaka Station. I could have rode the train, but I wanted to waste time. And then I was on there. And then when I got there, I was on the train. I was like, all right, so I don't know when I'll get there. I'm probably gonna just cancel my first class. And he was like, oh, well, you're on this train, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, you should be there in time. I'm like, nah, just cancel it. I ain't gonna make the first one. And then I arrived for plenty of time, so I was like, let me go to the Kombini and get something to drink because I don't want to rush.
And this is a Saturday morning too.
Yeah. So then I finally get there, and the old bitch is still there.
Who?
Yeah,
your
that was an
student?
adult lesson. Yeah.
She just waited?
She's waiting. She's like, oh, you're here. Can we do class? I'm like, this old. And her English, she's not a bad person, but her English is awful.
Oh, okay.
She's old, and she doesn't want to
improve.
So it's like, she's one of those ones where like, why are you even here? Like, are you that bored?
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, you just stayed and waited?
For how long? Like 20 minutes?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's weird. All right, let's get back to your story.
Well, I'm more interested in this old lady.
Nah, that was it. That was all I had to
Okay.
say.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, it's constricting! Like, alright, the anaconda. Don't want none.
Of what?
Alright, when'd you start your vacation? On
of
Thursday?
What? Don't want none of what?
No, I didn't have anything else.
Them buns, huh?
Oh,
Come
I see
on,
what
man.
you did there.
You set it up. Oh, God. So, 3 days sick as a dog.
You started on Thursday, your vacation, or?
I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Oh.
Which, I'm so glad I got sick. I did not want to do this fucking speech competition.
Oh, God.
Because it involves Japanese parents, and they're all weird. And I don't want to fucking... And they were like, there's a sensei performance. And I'm like, I gotta get sick. So, fortunately, I missed that.
Oh, so while we're on parents real quick, I have this one student, kid class.
Yeah.
And so, alright, that's
Morty.
it. Nah, so like, in the beginning, it was just me and their daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could get arrested for... Nah, I'm kidding. But it was just me and their daughter.
Okay.
And, I mean, this was like in the very beginning, so they was like, I'm nervous. And so, like, her dad would, like, do her worksheets for her before class. And I was like, it don't matter, it's just me and her.
Uh-huh.
But now we're in the future, and so there's more kids in there.
Oh, okay.
And now her parents are still doing her worksheets for her.
Yeah.
So it's like, so now she's like, well, I'm already done, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, let me tell the parents, like, hey, you don't need to help her with the shit no more.
Yeah.
She's comfortable, and we got a bunch of other students, so let's just keep her with the class.
Yeah.
So I messaged one of my Japanese friends and had them write me a good letter.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I go in. I was like, I'll give the parents a letter. I'm like, all right, here. And it says, like, your kid's doing good.
Yeah.
I know in the beginning she was nervous, so you helped her, but now you don't need to do that. I was like, okay. So I go out to lunch. I come back, and the secretary's like, what did you say to her mom? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, did you give her this letter? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, what were you trying to say? And I was like, because Yuki wrote me the letter. And
okay.
So I was like, and I explained in depth the whole situation.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I was like, did he fuck me with this letter? But I reviewed it, and it made sense.
Okay.
So I was saying that her daughter for the parents to stop doing the homework with the daughter, the schoolwork.
Okay.
So she could do it with the class. So like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, is this Japanese? I was like, wait, is this Japanese sentence wrong?
Yeah.
Like, well, just tell us if you want to say something. I was like, wait. Are these Japanese sentences correct?
Yeah.
They're like, well, just tell us. I was like,
yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on there, Bessie.
I'm like, wait. Okay. I was like, I get that.
Yeah.
As a Japanese sentence.
Yeah.
Do you read this and do you understand it? They're like, well, if you want to say something. I was like, oh. So then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I had the copy of the letter. So I messaged my friend.
Yeah.
I was like, I just messaged him the Japanese. I was like, read this and tell me what it says.
Okay.
So he came. He's like, it says, your daughter's in our class. You've been helping her with the homework. Can you stop helping her?
Yeah.
So she can do the rest with the students.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, good, thanks. So he understood 100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Even the parents are fucking retarded, man. That at the end of the day, I'm like, so the mom got this. She was like, I don't know what's going on. They can write Japanese?
It's weird, like...
Even the parents are fucking retarded.
That's the same with ours, too. I've heard from the other Japanese teachers, like, our parents are really fucking weird.
Right.
So...
They gotta be if they're bringing their kid here.
and like, these schools definitely want to filter what we say to the parents. But... Yeah, well, that's another topic.
All right. So back
so let's talk about going to the clinic.
Okay, so why did you decide to go to the clinic? Did you have to, or?
Well, I wanted to get out of work.
Okay, and they said you had to get like a doctor's note or some shit.
No, I just wanted to go. Oh, going to the clinic. Gonna run some tests on me. And in reality, I was just laying in bed. Because that's all it took. I just basically had to sleep it for 3 days.
Sleep it off.
But
some NyQuil.
But you gotta fucking prove, like, even if your train's late, it's like you gotta get these fucking notes from the station. Like, my train was 10 minutes late. I'm so sorry.
Prove it to me. Like, all right, so what the fuck was happening in the past where you're so strict on the proving?
Okay, now that we're on that topic,
this is going on so many different topics, man.
Hold on, this is a good story.
I know, I'm just saying this.
The manager picks and chooses who she likes and who she doesn't like.
Is that your new one or this?
No, the old one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I guess 3 Japanese teachers ago, like full-time teachers. He was a little overweight, and in Japan, that is no. You're a bad person. So she treated him like dog shit.
She's not small herself.
She's a crazy bitch. And everyone, well, mainly the women treated him poorly.
We're not gonna fuck. They like open their pussies like, you ain't gonna get inside.
And the funny thing is, one of the moms complained about him, and she is not like, ooh.
What's wrong with him? He's just so fat.
The funny thing is, she's fat. The mom's fat too, the one that complained. But I remember he took off his work shirt and he had like a dress shirt on underneath, and she was like, I don't feel comfortable with him stripping down in front of me. And then there's like a 19-year-old college kid that's like real skinny, and he's just like, oh, my shirt popped up when I took off the other one. Whoa, what's going on? And she didn't complain about him.
She was like,
but his train was late one day because there's a lot of fucking late. I don't know where Japan gets this bullshit of, oh, our trains were never late. There's a lot of late trains. But his was late, and the manager was like, you must bring me the paper that says you were late. And he's like, okay. And she's like, I researched it. That train was not late. You're a liar. And he's like, I got the paper. It was late. Like, what's wrong with you? But I could talk.
You missed it because you're fat. You didn't run for the train.
You couldn't huff and puff up those stairs. Oh, man, I could do a whole podcast on their relationship.
Oh, this is the first one I'm hearing about.
He was the friendliest guy I've ever met, and everyone treated him like shit.
That's why. Can't be friends with these motherfuckers.
Anywho, that was fun. That was a nice memory. I remember him.
What was his name? That wasn't Kazu.
No, I don't know. We've had so many because they keep quitting. But I thought Japanese didn't quit. I thought they stayed with one job forever.
American company, this.
Okay, so I went to the clinic.
Which one?
The one down the street. Between here and the station.
Was it a hospital or just a clinic?
No, just a little clinic.
Okay.
And Japanese such hard workers, they gotta have off between 12:30 and 4:30. So I had to fucking go back home. And then they called me from work and they're like, "Are you receiving medical attention?" I'm like, "Closed. Go back in 4 hours. Goodbye." I went back to sleep. And then went there at 4:30, and the lady was like, "Did you take your temperature?" And I'm like, "I was supposed to do that? This is a clinic. I thought you did it." So I took it. It was like 37.3. So she was like, "Please step out." And they have like a little booth off to the side with a chair that you can like write down your sickness on a piece of paper and then push a button and they come out and talk to you.
Yeah.
But it was a bunch of old people in there, so who gives a shit about them? Just let them get sick. But then I wrote down... I actually talked to the doctor before, at the beginning of Corona, and both times he was like, "Oh, kanji kakemasu."
Yeah.
Because I had to write down my address.
Right.
And he sees the paper, he's like, "Oh, sugoi." And then I was thinking, I've been here 5 years. Why wouldn't I know how to write my address? Who is so stupid they can't memorize an address in 5
Right.
fucking years? Like, how stupid do they think we are? But then he, this is, I think you'll like this. He was talking to me and I understood most of it.
He took you like in the back room or outside? Where was he talking to?
He fingered me outside.
Oh.
He's like, "Yep, Corona." No, we were just in this little outside booth with a chair.
Okay.
But he was asking me all these questions. Which, this is funny. When I was talking to the nurse, I was like, I don't really have any real symptoms. I just feel bad. So I was like, Choshi Choto Warui? She's like, "How?" I'm like, I don't know, just Warui. And she goes, "Warui?" I'm like, did you think I'm like a bad person?
Maybe. I'm just trying to do some crime.
Would that happen in English? Like, "I feel bad. How do you feel?" "You know, just bad." Bad. Like, do they have these problems in English? But so the doctor comes out and he's like telling me all this stuff in English or in Japanese, and there's a few words I don't understand. So he goes and gets this like device you can speak into, and then it says translates it, and then he kept saying Hokensho. So I'm like, insurance?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hokensho, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Kado?" Like, because they took my insurance card. He's like, "Not a card. Hokensho." He gets out the little egg thing. And he's like, "Hokensho?" And like nothing comes up. He's like, "Hokensho?" Nothing comes up. He's like, "Hokenjo?" And it's like, clinic or something. I'm like, so you just said the wrong word? Like, he kept saying the wrong word.
Oh, so he didn't want your card.
No, because I was like, why does he keep saying Hokensho? Like, insurance?
Right.
And then he said it the third time, and he said Hokenjo, and I'm like, so like Japanese people just can't talk.
So what did he? Why was he saying clinic?
Hokenjo, I guess, means like a place where they can perform a test. So he wanted to know, do I want to go take a corona test?
But he was saying the wrong word, which means
multiple times.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what? Like, when we misunderstand them, it's just because they can't fucking talk. Like, he kept saying it to me, and then the device didn't pick it up 3 times, and then he was like, Hokenjo. I'm like, you just said a different word than you were saying.
Like, nah, motherfucker, that was a different word.
Yeah, so I thought you'd think that was interesting, because, you know, we always have these problems, like, what is he saying to me?
Yeah.
So, this is funny. The clinic can't perform coronavirus tests.
Okay.
which it's like, is that their way of keeping the numbers
The
down?
clinic that you were at first?
Yeah.
Or
the one
clinic he sent you to?
No, the one down here. The one they talked to me.
Okay, so you go, yeah, so
Which is like, oh, okay. So, like, they're just making it difficult for people to get tests.
Right.
Which I talked to my mom. She's like, oh, I've had 2. Her husband had 3. And it's like, why is it so hard for me to even get 1 in this country? But they contacted some people who then called me another day. They're like,
so this is a different. So now,
this is a different.
This is for a different day.
Yeah, this is.
Not something in that day.
This is now Saturday. I'm getting a phone call. They're like, tomorrow, can you come to?
Wait, so you went to the clinic on Friday.
Friday,
and now they say, all right, go home.
Which this is funny. The old manager kept trying to get me to work on Saturday. I'm like, you fucking bitch. That's our busiest day, and it's like,
just come in, man.
That makes no sense. Can you not work Friday? Come work on our busiest day, and then have off Sunday when we don't really need you again. It's like, I know where I stand now. I got the bargaining chips. You got nothing.
Just come on. Just suck it up for Saturday.
And she was even...
Infect everybody.
She was even... Yeah, our busiest day. I'm just coughing on all these parents. But she was even like, do you think you can come in on Saturday? I'm like, ooh, maybe. And then Friday, they called me. I'm like, I ain't coming in.
yeah. Gotta butter them up first.
But so I get called on Saturday from this other group of people.
Okay.
And they're like, tomorrow, can you come get a test? I'm like, all right. And they're like, it's a secret location, so don't tell anybody. Like, why is it
a secret location?
Why are you hiding your testing facilities? Like, what is going on?
That's weird.
And then she's telling me all the different, like, the location. She didn't give me an address. She's like, go to this station and then go to the light and then go to the bus parking lot. I'm like, what's going on?
They didn't email you or nothing. They were just
it was on the phone.
Yeah, well, damn, that's fucking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta send me a message. Shit.
That's why I messaged you that day. I'm like, I'm getting a test on a bus because I'm like, if I get kidnapped, at least Brandon will. If the government's like, take this fucking guy, test his ass. I'm like, at least Brandon. I couldn't explain it because I forgot to message you right before I got there. I was like, just in case I disappear.
All right, wait. So where did you? What station did you have to go to?
I think it was by Sauce Boss.
Oh yeah, near that area.
Yeah, which I had to take 3 subways, and it's like, if I was really sick, is that really safe? But I guess, you know.
So was this a clinic or?
No, it was in a bus parking lot. They just put up some chairs.
It was in the parking lot
of
a bus parking lot, like a bunch of buses.
Yeah, it's like sidewalk, road, bus parking lot. Road going the other way, sidewalk.
Did it look like a medical bus?
There was a bus. It was outside. It was like they had like the fucking plastic and then just kind of like a table. And
was there a bunch of people there?
It was just me.
Just you?
And then like 8 Japanese dressed in all this gear.
Oh, they have hazmat? What kind of gear?
Just fucking...
Like hazmat suits? Or
I think just plastic.
Is it plastic?
I think they just had plastic. Because Japan really cares.
Just a plastic sheet?
But I was...
Were they like apprehensive? Like, oh.
No, it was annoying because like I couldn't fucking find it. I went to the wrong side and it was blocked off. So I'm like, I was pissed too. So I'm like, I have to take all these fucking subways. Can't I just get a fucking test in a clinic? But I get there and they were really friendly, but they were really annoying me. And I was sick. And they're like, spoiler alert, my middle name is Walter. They're like, are you Walter's son? I'm like, no, I'm not. And then they're doing the Japanese talk. Like, what do we do? What do we do? I'm like, Manaka Namaya. I'm like, that's my middle name. And they're like, Midoru Nemu. I'm like, yeah. And then I show them my fucking ID. I'm like, that's not my I'm not Walter's son. And they're like, well, for this test, you will be Walter's son. I'm like, what is going on? So they fucking give me a cup and like a little You know, like the little tube with the screw-on lid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I fucking do with this? And they're like, take it over to this booth. So I'm like, okay, now I gotta walk over to this location. And they're like, where's your cup? I'm like, I thought you were just handing me the tube in the cup. They're like, you forgot the cup. So the lady had to run back and get me this fucking cup. And she's like, put the tube in the cup. So now I have a tube and a cup. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I did something where I pulled it out. And she's like, we gotta get you a new tube. So they give me, and I just fucking leave the other one laying on the shelf, and then I have this new
This is outside.
It was outside in a bus parking lot.
Okay.
There were 3 different stations, but I was the only one there. Seems like they're not really testing anyone here. And so I get the fucking cup in the tube, and she's like, unscrew the lid. I'm like, all right, I unscrew it. She's like, remove the swab. I'm like, all right. So I get this thing. She's like, put it in your nose. Which I'd heard it's like a thing that goes up to like the back.
Yeah.
But this one, they're like, just wiggle it around a little bit. So I'm like,
this is where you gotta give it a little wiggle.
I'm like, I have not heard this anywhere.
And you did it yourself.
And they're like,
they
made me do it. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, is this a legit testing facility? Because everything
it's not even a real test.
I know. And everything I've heard was like, they jam a rod up and they scrape out the back, and they're like, and it hurts a little bit. They're like, just wiggle around. So I wiggled it. They're like, Ich ni san shi gokai. I'm like, all right. And they're like, now the left side. I'm like, Ich ni san shi go. And she's like, arigatou gozaimasu. And then put it back in the tube, screwed it on. I think I had to walk to someone else and give it to him, and he's like, arigatou gozaimasu. And then I'm like, am I done? Because I'm like, is this even a real test? Is this a preliminary test? Like, do I have to do a real one later? And they're like, oh, you're good. So I'm like, oh, I just go? And they're like, oh, we'll call you in like 5 days. And then they called me the next day, and they're like, oh, we didn't find anything. You're good. Now, that's the whole testing in Osaka. They called me the next day. They're just like, hey, we didn't find anything. You're fine.
You still might have had corona, but the test, that wasn't even a real test.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask them questions like, I don't have it now, but did I ever have it? Like, did you find anything? But I'm like, they don't know that. This whole thing is made up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Japan, our numbers are so low. And then the fucking American health whatever comes to Japan. 1, 2, 3. And like, that's not how you test people.
What the fuck are you doing? Huh?
In Japan, we test people. And then eventually I got better. But I really just didn't want to go to work, so
they sent you to this. So they didn't even send you to a hospital. They sent you to
a bus parking lot.
Bus parking lot. Interesting. And they were why were they keeping the location so secretive?
They didn't tell me. But they made that very clear. This is a secret. Do not tell people our location.
Did you get any pictures or did you get any recordings?
No, they had signs up that was like no photography.
You should have done it, man.
I was thinking about it. Well, I'll just take you if you want. He wants a test too, and you just start coughing. I'm so sick.
Oh, you think they're still there?
It was free though. That's a good thing about Japan, where it's like a lot of the medicine's super cheap, at least. All right. And these made up baloney tests are free.
Interesting.
It was interesting. I asked the doctor at the clinic. I was like, how much are, like, if it's like $50, I'm just gonna not do it. But I was like, how much are the corona tests? He's like, I don't know. It's like, you're a doctor. They don't tell you this. But then I asked over the phone. They're like, oh, it's free. So, yeah, why not? Get this information. You said you had something to add to that when I was talking to you online.
I don't think so.
Well, I got proof of it. This whole process showed me that Japan's strategy to keeping the numbers down is to not test people. I got something to add to that later. What did you have?
I don't remember.
What did you have to add?
I'm just trying to process your whole story. That's crazy.
I'm still processing it. And you know when you're sick and things don't really make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I may have dreamed the whole thing. I might have just had like a fever dream, like I went to a bus parking lot and I stuck some stuff up my nose.
None of it even happened.
I'm not even an English teacher. But do you have any questions? Did I answer all your questions about Japan's procedures?
You were the only person there at the parking lot, right?
Yeah. There was no one to be seen. There was no one really in that part of the city.
I would say, was it a busy part or just like a random, like industrial kind of closed part?
Well, it's by Sauce Bus, so it's like they got like a Mercedes dealership. They got random buildings, but there was like nobody there. There was a few people walking, but I'm like, is this really the best place to be doing this?
Did they tell you like to stay inside for 2 weeks or anything or not?
They said stay home as much as possible. And I'm like, you know I gotta work, right?
Yeah. Y'all gonna give me that stay at home money? All right then, I gotta go work.